Welcome back. Well, 'tis the season for the holiday cocktail party. We're talking about mulled wine, mince pies, awkward moments with mistletoe. And to some, it's good times with canapes, but to others, it could be a white-knuckle ordeal.
Sure enough. So how do you work a room without fear? How do you extract yourself from a conversation that's gone just a bit stale? Let's bring in an expert. Joining us from New York, the author of The Art of Mingling, Jeanne Martinet. Jeanne, great to talk to you, a great time to talk to you. You walk into a room, it's the Christmas party or whatever, or maybe a place where you don't know too many people. How do you get started?
Well, the first thing to do is to check around and see who you might want to approach. You don't want to approach a group of 6 or 7 people who've got their arms around each other and are laughing hysterically at each other. You want to try and find people who may be a little bit open to a new conversation, people who are maybe looking around and are standing sort of open.
Now, what's a good line to use to open up a conversation?
Well, there's different techniques you can use. I love to use what I call the honest approach, which is to simply, when I'm really feeling afraid and I don't know anybody there, I simply go up to somebody and I say, you know, I don't know a single soul at this party. My name is. And, you know, people respond really well to that. They're nice. They're very nice about it. They'll usually end up introducing you around. Or you can use the flattery entree. If you see if somebody has a great pair of earrings on, you can go up and say, oh, my God, there's a great earrings. Where did you get them? At Christmas time, that works well because people are usually wearing fun Christmassy things.
Everyone, to a degree, is a sort of a co-conspirator in this because, according to your research, 90% of people suffer from what you call mingle phobia.
That's true. I was surprised, actually, at the response to my book when it first came out, but everybody thinks they're the only one who has a secret terror of parties. But people seem to not know what to do when faced with a room full of strangers.
Now, it's important to know how to get into a conversation when you're in a room full of strangers, but it's also important to know how to get out of a conversation as well. Tell us about that.
Yes, that is very important. A lot of people actually are afraid to talk to people because they think they'll never be able to get out. I have 12 escape techniques in my book that will allow you to leave people without being rude. And the most common one, of course, is the buffet bye-bye and other handy excuses. That's where you simply say, I have to go get a drink or I have to go get something to eat. The best one of those, though, is what I call the telephone line, because nobody will follow you to a telephone call where they might follow you to the other things. There's also
the human sacrifice. We keep talking about the human sacrifice here in the newsroom.
Yeah, the human sacrifice sounds really cruel, but everybody does it at every party I've ever been to. That's where you see somebody else you know coming out of the corner of your eye, and you bring them into the conversation to talk to the boring person that you're trying to get away from. And as soon as they start talking, you can then leave.
Now, there's a kind of a brutality to this as well, isn't it? Because one of your rules is escape them before they dump you. It seems like life itself, doesn't it?
It's really a survival law. The correct way to say that is it's better to escape from someone than to have them escape from you. So we're talking about survival here. It's better to leave them before they leave you standing alone at a party.
And that, in fact, is number 4 in your 5 laws of party survival in your book, The Art of Mingling. Let's bring up the 5 laws, and can you walk us through what they are?
He who mingles best mingles alone is my first rule. And that is, you know, a lot of people go to parties with their spouses and they stick together, and that's not the way to meet everybody at a party. You know, your idea is to circulate, and that's your goal, and so you really should split up and mingle separately. And another good rule to remember is that no one's thinking about you, everyone is thinking about themselves. And that's a good life law as well as a good mingling law, because people feel self-conscious when they're at parties, and they really shouldn't, because everyone else is feeling just as self-conscious as you. And then you said the other, and then the 5th one I now can't remember.
It's okay to lie.
It's okay to lie is another one, of course.
It's okay to lie is the most important one, which everyone thinks is a morally corrupt position to take. But in fact, in polite society, if we didn't lie, we would be hurting each other's feelings all the time. So when you're at a party, it's really okay to lie. Not on your taxes or in your marriage, but at a party you can lie.
Now, listening to you and knowing that nearly everybody doesn't want to be mingling, they don't want to do this whole kind of thing, it seems so desperately difficult. Give us some reason, give us one reason why you'd bother going to a party and mingle at all rather than just calling a rain check in and sitting at home with a good DVD for someone you really like.
Mingling in a room full of strangers can be the most fun thing if you just get over your fears. And, you know, when I'm talking about all the techniques like this, it sounds as though they're all serious and take doing homework. But in fact, it's really if you go to a party and you meet 10 new people and you have conversations with all of them, you feel really exhilarated. It's just what life's all about. People should not be sitting at home alone with their iPods.
Exactly, Jeanne, I agree with you. We are social animals. That's why we put ourselves out there. Thank you so much. We're going to have to wrap up the conversation there. Jeanne Martinet, author of The Art of Mingling. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Interesting, isn't it? We are social animals. You're dead right, and yet 90% of us hate the process. So how does that work? It's a paradox.
We're very conflicted.